Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football guys. Still dealing with this cold. Thank you, E2. That E2 re-energized a couple weeks ago here, and I'm still just a little congested. So bear with me. I might cough a little bit here and there. But here we are, 107 days, 12 hours, 21 minutes, and 15 seconds away of kickoff from the 2019 season. And today, friends, yes, today, we got a chipmunk that's actually walking outside the door here. Um, Today, the team gets together for OTAs. Everybody, rookies, veterans, and all that. It's voluntary, but I believe everybody will be there. And I think there'll be a little meeting there with one Zeke Elliott to find out what happened, what's going on, what's the next step. Now, again, I don't work for the NFL. I'm not an insider or anything like that. But in my mind, yeah, one thing that worried me from our live stream last night was Tyson, West Coast Cowboys, ended up sharing the agreement signed by Zeke Elliott after the suspension. And basically, in there, it's some very vague language. And that language is that you're not to have any run ins with the law. Now, what is by definitions run ins with the law? I don't know. I mean, he run into the law there, technically, or is that being arrested? Is that being charged with something? You follow what I'm saying here? Because technically, he didn't really run afoul of the law. He was never arrested before. He was never charged with anything. We just don't know. So the NFL will do their due diligence, and I'm sure they'll do a long, lengthy investigation like they always do when it comes to Zeke. And hopefully, I don't think there's enough there for him to warrant a suspension. But then again, we're the Dallas Cowboys, and things are always done differently to us than with everybody else. So it's going to be a long time before we find out anything on that. Now, another interesting note as we get ready to start OTAs, Stephen Jones says player acquisition is a 365 day a year job, that you're constantly trying to get better. On your off days, you're bringing guys for workouts because you never know where you may find a diamond in the rough. Sorry, I just was wide awake most of the night. I could not sleep. Gerald McCoy definitely is the mold of types of guys that Rod Marnelli likes. Now, if they hadn't drafted Tristan Hill, definitely they would be looking to sign him. I'm sure that the Cowboys have some interest because here's one thing you have to understand. When you get to next year, when you're talking about Antoine Woods, when you're talking about Malik Collins, other than Tyrone Crawford, as well as your rookies and undrafted free agents that you signed this year, those guys aren't signed for next year. So you're going to start looking to say, okay, is there somebody out there who can be an upgrade that we really, really like? And I could see them offering him a 1 year deal as kind of a tryout. He does real well, you let him go, and you end up getting yourself a compensatory pick. Now, what he wants, of course, is to get paid like everybody, but he also wants to go to a team that is a winner and has a chance to go to a Super Bowl. Because after being a 9 year veteran, you start thinking about your mortality. Now, he's made a whole lot of money at Tampa Bay and everything throughout his career. Now it's about trying to get that elusive ring. He is from Oklahoma, so it would be an opportunity for him to play close to home. Tampa Bay had tried to trade him, but most people figured just wait him out. He's going to be released. And we'll see if there's more interest. Mike Fisher is supposed to be coming out with a couple of little blurbs. He's been teasing it since last night. Talks about or what he sees is going on. We'll have to wait and see. Now, I think today is closed to the media practice-wise. I think tomorrow is open, so we'll see if we hear anything about practice. The thing we really hope for more than anything else after seeing Reuben Foster go down yesterday on the third play in practice for the Washington Redskins is you hope that nobody gets hurt. That's the bottom line. These are workouts. They're meaningless other than a learning tool, and you hope that nobody gets hurt. And moving right along to Amari Cooper. Thus far, there's no deal in place or talks are not progressing on that one. he ends up wanting, get paid like everybody else. And everybody always says, "Oh, you need to take a team-friendly deal, and you need to look at." That's not the mentality of the players. Um, some won't want to try and break the bank, but others look at it and say, these guys are making it. Why shouldn't I make it? And you on your job wouldn't be looking to say, you know what, I'll take below minimum wage, because I care about the company. Does the company really care about you beyond what you can perform? Not sure that they do. So I think they'll get that deal done. And looking at it, Julio Jones, their deal, they're working on it. He may end up beating Odell Beckham's deal, which is like 18. We know Sammy Watkins got like 16. So, you see where the Cowboys were thinking about 16 million is what they were looking to want to pay him. What is 1 or 2 more million to keep Amari Cooper? You gave up a number one draft pick. You kind of have a gun to your head at this point that you really have to keep him on the squad. You got nobody else, and you gave up a first rounder. So they'll get that deal done. Zeke Elliott, Stephen Jones says what happened in Vegas, in his mind, is going to stay in Vegas, and it's not going to affect their contract negotiations. And of course, we're still working on Dak Prescott's, Dak, we need to call him Saint Dak, to be quite honest with you. All of the stuff that he's getting back and always stays out of trouble. Um, they're working on his deal. Rumors have been it may be about a 4-year, 120 million type deal, so like 30 million a year. That's some of the rumors that I've heard. For the Cowboys, it'd be more advantageous to actually make it a longer deal to stretch it out because, as we see, to give you an example, Tyron Smith's contract last year was 17 million, mainly because we kept using his contract as a kiddie. We'd go through, we'd restructure him, and throw some of that money back. Well, next year his cap number is only 13 million, which is back to where it would have been. And that at the time, when he signed his deal, was 90-some million dollars, and people looked at it and said, "Man, you're paying too much." But because of the length of time, it's actually way ahead where he'll be as one of our premier offensive linemen, actually one of the lowest paid as far as the cap number. But the other thing too, and I can't remember if I said this or not. Remember that we don't have guys contracted at defensive tackle next year other than Tristan Hill as well as the undrafted free agent. So you are going to start planning for the future. And Gerald McCoy could be a hell of an upgrade. I mean, a hell of an upgrade. 6 sacks last year as a defensive tackle. Let me say it again. 6 sacks last year as a defensive tackle. That's putting in some major work. And at 6'4", 300 pounds, that's a Rod Martinelli guy if I've ever seen one. Well, I got to grab Michael Anthony. We got to get the truck loaded, and we got to head down the road. And hopefully we'll get back in time to go hang out with Cowboys Crunk this evening. As always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. We'll see you guys soon.